Is this what a Russian takeover looks like, or is this what an African takeover looks like? In the Sahel region throughout Africa, they are kicking out the United States military and the French military and welcoming with open arms and the greatest hospitality the Russian army. And they look like they're having fun doing it. What is going on in Africa? Do they not know when to stop? Are they not going to stop? Every time I go onto a social media site, Africa is kicking out France. They're kicking out Americans. They're bringing in the Russians. And the world is going, what are you doing? Are you going to stop? Or are you going to keep going with this? I mean, what are you doing? As an American, it is my job and my duty to devil in and dive in to somebody's business that I have absolutely no reason of being there, but I'm an American, so I'm supposed to do this. And it's our job to make sure the people in the world are misinformed and disinformed and obedient and bowing to the American government masters. So let's do it. And as America is trying to push their narratives and push their agendas over onto the people in the leaders of Africa, the African leaders and the African people are saying, we think it's time that y'all should be going now. When you start asking yourself if it's time to leave, it's been past time to leave. Africa in the Sahel region is being cleared out of the United States military. Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Niger, Chad. Yep, Chad just jumped in too. And with Senegal's new leadership, it looks like they're jumping in as well. What we're gonna do here is bring in African military general, having a meeting on you guys over there, and what's best for your country in Africa. To dispel what we're about to witness here is any of the narratives and propaganda that America's going to be coming out with real soon. They're pretty much saying that. We need to come out with our narrative, not theirs. Fair enough. Propaganda is fair play. So now to find out why the American military is actually there straight from the horse's mouth, the truth is what's going to set us free, and the truth is what's setting Africa free right now. And what I'm going to ask from my awesome viewers out there is your comments before the puts their green screens up and makes their narratives on what is happening there into something that's really not happening and isn't the will of the people of Africa. Because we want the will of the people of Africa, and I want the will of the people and the people of Africa to comment down below so that people can come here and say, wow, is this really happening in Africa, when America comes out with their propaganda of Russia trying to take over Africa instead of just, hey, doing business with them and paying them what they're worth. So grab yourselves a drink and please comment down below. I'll actually, even in this video, I'm gonna put up questions for you, whether they're telling truth or false. And comment down below on what they're doing. That way the people of the world and the people in America can see what the Africans are saying about what the American generals are saying and see if it lines up. Let's go.
Distinguished committee members, it's an honor to appear before you today representing the outstanding service members, civilians, and families of the United States Africa Command.
Langley, last year you spoke about the Wagner Group's activities, and though there's been some changes in the Wagner Group, they are still a presence in your AO, I assume.
Yes, Chairman, there is.
And last year you indicated how they are really extorting these countries rather than helping them in any way, shape, or form. The question arises, what are we doing in terms of information campaign to try to inform governments and the people of the dangers that these groups, not just Wagner groups, but other entities are posing?
Chairman, thanks for that question, because I would say the Russian Federation's narrative drowned out the U.S. government's in the past years. They were accelerant. The Russian Federation, not just through Wagner, stoked a lot of the instability across the Sahel. They did this through misinformation, disinformation campaigns. So I see how we could double down in our efforts is through our own information campaign, but matched with our assurance efforts across the whole of government. Just not building military and security capacity, but all the story needs to be told about the successes of USAID and State Department collectively in all of our operations, activities, and investments.
So China has ambassadors in all of those countries. Is that because it's the will of the African people to have the Chinese there and not the Americans? Probably. Let me know what you think down below, and thank you for all your comments.
So How important is it for us to have ambassadors in the countries where you're operating to help us move the missions that we have in these countries? I'd ask both of you to respond to that.
Senator, it's very essential that we have, especially with our whole of government approach. Our African partners understand that we're here to help them reach their overall national goals of stability and security. But when we bring our assurance actions and our African campaign plan and say 3D, they said, okay, then why aren't we important enough to have an ambassador? And so it does draw a strategic communication that can be exploited and leveraged by the Russian Federation and the People's Republic of China. It is certainly essential.
Thank you. And I would point out that the PRC has ambassadors in all of those countries.
Senator Manchin, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for your service. Appreciate it very much. General Langley, if I could on this, I hope you've been made aware of the I think it's just been brought out in the case of West Virginia National Guard has announced yesterday a new state partnership with Gabon. I don't know if that's been brought to your attention or not.
Yes, Senator.
Okay. I'm biased, but I confirm that National Guard of West Virginia specifically asked to take on the partnership, given their close relationship that they built with Qatar and Peru. We've been working there very strategically. Part of the reason that I believe West Virginia was selected was due to the 7 countries in Africa having gone through a military coup in recent years. However, the August military takeover of Gabon saw positive reactions from the public due to previous Gabonese government's corruption. So how productive have your previous engagements with Gabon been, and how do you plan to use the new partnership to expand the relationship, or how will the West Virginia National Guard fall into that?
Thanks for that question, Senator, because I will tell you that the state partnership program writ large is something that's unrivaled. When I say it's unrivaled, because this is not offered by the People's Republic of China, nor is it rivaled by the Russian Federation. So a continuance to engage through this authority is going to be able to assist Gabon into increasing their partnership and capacity. We're going to operate within the imposition of 7008 sanctions because there was a coup, but I think there's enough notwithstanding authorities to increase their overall capacity in their security construct and also get them back on the road to democracy.
Does the military does their military that's taken over, the coup was done by the military, do they still have control and they running the country?
Yes, they do. And General Gandimi says that he is laying out a plan. State Department, our African Bureau, Assistant Secretary Fee is going to ensure that they lay out the benchmarks that will be acceptable to the U.S. government for them getting back to that end state.
Now we are going into a particular area of interest for my senator, the senator from Florida. That's where I'm from, Florida. So we voted for this guy. And now he's asking the general, why are we so interested in being in Africa? And if you notice at the end of his questioning on the general, because they're asking the generals are asking the senators for money right now to keep funding their programs abroad. Some in Iran, some in Africa. And after the questioning, I just want you to watch the look on Senator Scott's face like, I don't think, he wasn't real thrilled with the answer. He really wasn't. But the answer to this question says a lot on why America is there. And that's why I think Rick Scott was kind of saying, I don't know about this. Let me know what you think.
General Langley, can you talk about why we care about what's happening in Africa right now? I mean, if you tell the American taxpayer, why are we there? Why are we spending the money we're spending there?
Thanks for that question, Senator. For access and influence, I'd say that a number of countries are at the tipping point of actually being captured by the Russian Federation, as they are spreading some of their false narratives across Libya. And from a strategic answer piece, access influence across the whole Maghreb, that is NATO's southern flank. We need to be able to maintain access and influence across the Maghreb from Morocco all the way to Libya. The PRC and Russia are also remaining exploitative where possible and coercive when necessary. They want that ground. They want power projection capabilities. So for the most part, the rest of the continent is also for mining concessions, whether it be gold or rare earth minerals. Both of them have a long-range plan. But I think at the accelerated pace, Russian Federation is really trying to take over Central Africa as well as the Sahel.
Thank both of you. Thanks.
Senator Scott, Senator Blumenthal, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Did you see the look on his face? Like that answer, I don't know. Tell me what you think about that answer that he gave. Does that give a good reason for anybody to be there? Because we're afraid the Russians and the Chinese want the land and we want to be the influencer of Africa to Africa. I don't think that's a good reason to literally go in and say, okay, well, they want this land, so we want this land. When it's not ours. It's Africa's land. So I think that's what Rick Scott was looking at him like, I don't think I'm going to fund this. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, but let me know what you think, because I want to know what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. Honestly, it doesn't. I don't care. Because if you guys think differently than I do or opposite, you're right. You live there. So, hey, that's what we want to know is what you want. What you want. And that's what I'm trying to get across to people here. And hopefully that's what we're all trying to do is find out what Africa wants to do. Onward.
What are the operational advantages that China has over our efforts in Africa, and what are we doing to help out on that?
So, Senator, right now, China has a plan, a long-range plan, but they're coming in with their Belt and Road initiatives, but I think they do have global aspirations for a security construct to get a decisive advantage over the United States. We need activities and investments to deter that, especially engaging with our partners, our African partners, and telling them to ensure that they're not militarized. So this takes information campaign that's successful, but also assurance actions of building partnership capacity where they won't need China in their false offerings of security construct.
Thank you.
Okay, I know we're going to get a lot of comments on that. The Belt and Road Initiative, which is to belts and roads and infrastructure in Africa. China's doing a great job of helping Africa do, and that is the key. That is the key to building a country, to building a great nation, is having good roads and electric and all the electric grids. That is the key. And we're like, no, we don't want China to keep doing this. I mean, if America's not in there for the right reason, the only thing I'm hearing about America is it's military. It's military. We need to fight, fight, fight. I mean, I don't want to put words into your mouth, but let me know what you think about what he said. We'll continue. I just think that America's mindset regarding Africa and the will of the people and not the will of the military of America are two totally different things. I think that America's way off in what Africa is doing right now and why they're doing what they're doing in China. And I think they're way off on what China's doing. And if China is embracing trying to take over Africa by building roads and helping Africa improve themselves, I don't know. Tell me what you think. Let's move on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just begrudged myself and went through the rest of the meeting and the hearing for your not having to, because it's just the same old repeat, wash, rinse, repeat stuff that they were talking about in the earlier message that we showed you here, let you hear. But man, I'm just not going to put you through it. All that other stuff is wish-washy, flossy, Nazi, and hillbilification. The only thing here that matters is you. This political mumbo-jumbo that they're doing, that they're trying, I just want to give you the behind-the-scenes look, because with this information, we can see into the future and what's going to happen, because you are the ultimate decision maker. The Africans are the ultimate decision makers of their own future in their own country, in the motherland of Africa. And God bless Africa. I just want to say thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, click that notification button so when I get information out like this, you can get information in and we can stand together as one love and continue to walk in unity. One love. I love you all. It's just been a blessing having you here today once again. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.